Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. On my way to go get it as always, man. I hope y'all doing the same, man. On the road to 2K, we passed up that 1,500 mark. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob for making this possible. We just gonna keep climbing. You see what I'm saying? But I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Now, what I want to get into is a comment that Teofimo had made, man. It's hilarious to me, bro. It's hilarious to me, and I know exactly why this man is making the comments that he's making. Well, I have several reasons why. You know what I mean? But Teofimo Lopez comes out. I don't know if it was an interview or if he was just talking to somebody. I don't know exactly what the situation was, but shout out to Blue Blood Sports for putting out this video, because without it, I don't think I would have seen it this morning. You know what I mean? And it's Teofimo coming at Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? Alluded to the fact that I don't even think he was alluded. I think he was saying that Terence Crawford was overrated. And the reason why he was overrated is because a lot of the opponents they had fought had been injured prior to the fight. He said that Errol Spence had cataracts, that he wasn't, that he couldn't see, and that Jose Benavidez had an injured leg, and then talked about Kell Brook having the messed up eye. So that's what Teofimo has said. You know what I mean? That's just him talking crazy. You know what I mean? And I know exactly why. I know exactly why Teofimo is talking crazy about Terence Crawford. Let's really get into it. You know what I mean? Now, before I get into that, though, I just wanted to speak on exactly what Teofimo said. Now, he says that Errol Spence had cataract in his eye going into the Terence Crawford fight. I do not believe that, because the commission would not allow you to fight with cataracts in your eye. They would not have approved that fight. That's easily found in an eye exam. So I believe that is cap. That is something that the commission will not let slide. They did not allow Errol Spence to fight that mega fight with Manny Pacquiao due to a detached retina. They would not have allowed him to fight Terence Crawford with cataracts in his eye. So that's one. He brings up Kell Brook having the messed up eye. His eye had been injured in the Triple G and Errol Spence fight, which was way before the Terence Crawford fight, and that didn't play a factor in the fight with Terence Crawford. So I don't even understand why he's bringing that up, as if him having a broken orbital bone played a factor in Terence Crawford knocking out Kell Brook. That wasn't the case at all. So it just sounds like Teofimo's not really being not really using his common sense. You know what I mean? Not really thinking too objectively about it. It just seems like the man is hating. You know what I mean? You bringing up Jose Benavidez having the shot leg or whatever. It is what it is, man. That's probably the only one that you could really talk about. But Jose Benavidez has been fighting since then. Fought the Danny Garcias, fought the Jamal Charlos, and I did not hear a leg excuse at either one of those victories that Charlo or Danny Garcia got. So if y'all gonna give Charlo and Danny Garcia credit for it, then give the man who beat him first credit, Terence Crawford. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what I wanted to speak on, you know what I mean, in terms of what he said. But now let's really get into why Teofimo is throwing shade Terence Crawford's way. Now, it could be several different reasons, but I think because prior to this, I believe that he was cool with Terence Crawford or whatever. But there was a situation during the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford press conference where Derek James has said that Teofimo was undisputed or whatever. And Terence Crawford checked him like, nah, he wasn't undisputed. He was unified. He wasn't undisputed. Good try, though. Which was facts. You see what I'm saying? When he became unified champion after beating Vasyl Lomachenko, he was unified world champion. Why wasn't he undisputed? Because Devin Haney had the WBC title. He was the full status WBC champion. So he was never undisputed. Teofimo afterwards so shook of fighting Devin Haney and wanted to discredit Haney so bad, the email champ thing came from him. And he was trying to redefine the definition of being an undisputed champ in the four-belt era. This is what Teofimo has done. You see what I'm saying? Essentially, you want to talk about fighters being injured. One of the biggest opponents that you have had to date, Vasyl Lomachenko, had a shoulder injury going into your fight. But you don't want to talk about that, right? You don't want to talk about that. Okay, cool. You're also a fighter who claimed to be injured when you got your ass whooped by George Kambosos. Talking about your esophagus and you could have died in there and all this crazy stuff. Bro, so not only have you fought opponents, not only have you gotten big wins against opponents who were injured as well, but you have made your own excuses when you've lost against guys that you were supposed to beat. Like George Kambosos, like Blue Blood said, He fights to the level of his opposition, and it showed. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hypocritical that Teofimo's taking this approach, because one of the biggest wins of your career, he had a shoulder injury. Then you want to talk about Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor has not looked the same since the Josh Catterall fight. So we can make a case in all honesty that you didn't beat the best version of Josh Taylor. You know what I mean? Just like how you nitpicking through Terence Crawford resume, they could easily do it to you. You know what I mean? Another reason why I think Teofimo is hating is because Terence Crawford was really what Teofimo was claiming he was. The whole undisputed thing. Terence Crawford was a legitimate undisputed champion at 140 pounds. Defeated everybody he needed to defeat to become undisputed. There was nobody in his weight class could say he was champion except Terence Crawford once he obtained all 4 belts. When he went up to 147, he beat the best guy in the division and became 2-time undisputed world champion of the world. Something that Teofimo Lopez has been saying about himself for the longest. Because now he's claiming, since he beat Josh Taylor and Josh Taylor was undisputed, that he's 2-time undisputed world champion. That's not how it works, sir. You over here just making up your own definitions to shit, and you lose credibility because you're spewing bullshit. You see what I'm saying? You're spewing bullshit. You're not making any type of sense. So you're saying you're a 2-time undisputed world champion when Josh Taylor only had 1 belt when he fought you? That doesn't make any type of sense, because how are you undisputed when there's 3 other champions in your division? Nobody in your division is even unified. So how the fuck are you undisputed? It just don't make any sense at all. So I think it's a little bit of jealousy there, because Terence Crawford is really the 2-time undisputed world champion. He's getting credit for it because he actually did it. Meanwhile, you trying to get credit for something you didn't do. There's Super L, there's Rolly, there's Devin Haney in your division that all have world titles, along with yourself. You are not undisputed, sir. You beat a former undisputed world champion. That don't make you undisputed, though. It's like when Tyson Fury knocked out Wilder. He talking about, oh, I beat the hardest puncher in the world. I knocked out the hardest puncher in the world, so that must make me the hardest puncher in the world. Bro, that's not how that work, bro. That's not how that work. I promise you that. It don't make any type of sense. You see what I'm saying? So Teofimo clearly hating on Terence Crawford, bro. And if that's the case, if you feel like he's so overrated, and he's the unified world champion at 147, why don't you go for 3 weight classes? Why don't you fight him? Since you think he's so overrated, why don't you fight him? It's realistic. You see what I'm saying? You only 1 weight class away from him. You had a few fights at 140. You acclimated to the weight class. You see what I mean? But because you struggle with guys like Sandor Martin, George Kambosos, and somehow Terence Crawford's overrated when he's fought better opposition than that and has never really had a close, controversial fight. I don't know if Terence Crawford ever had a split decision in his career or a fight that could have went either way. He's gotten all knockouts at 147. It never went to the judges never had to work while Terence Crawford was at 147. You see what I mean? So if he's so overrated, why don't you fight him? Make that fight happen. I'm sure Terence Crawford may entertain it because you're a popular name. You know what I mean? Y'all might generate some type of revenue out at the same time. I don't know, because you still with Top Rank and Crawford he don't fuck with Top Rank no more. So maybe it won't happen. But I've seen Terence Crawford entertain a Gervonta Davis fight at 147. So Teofimo's a popular name as well that he could get a little nice check off of. So maybe it can happen. You see what I mean? But you feeling like Terence Crawford overrated when he's clearly more accomplished than you. He's done more than you. He's a better fighter than you. You see what I'm saying? So it just sounds like you hating at the end of the day. And if you want to nitpick people's resume, we can easily do that with yourself, sir. Simple and plain. It is what it is, man. That's my take on the whole situation. What do you think about Teofimo hating on Terence Crawford? Does he bring up great points? Does he not? Y'all let me know in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.